Hello everyone and welcome to Procurement in the Park. I'm Christian Schuh and today we are venturing into an essential yet often overlooked facet of global supply chains that was recently highlighted by The Economist. We are talking about a set of elements that might not be household names, but their influence reverberates through our modern technology, infrastructure, and military systems. Let's start this journey in China's southwestern region. A few years ago, a company named Fania controlled a significant part of the world's supply of certain rare metals. The company's stockpiles simply sat in boxes on shelves. Yet for some of the minerals like gallium, germanium and indium, these meager supplies represented the majority of global stocks. Just think about that for a moment. A single firm nestled in that corner of the world controlled the lion's share of these critical materials, dictating the global pulse of technology and defense systems. In an unforeseen turn of events, China's government seized control of Fania and its massive reserves, catapulting the nation to the forefront of these essential elements. Fast forward to today, China has announced it will curb the exports of gallium and germanium, the very elements for which it supplied an astounding 98% and 60% of the global output respectively in 2022. And these aren't your everyday metals. They're integral to advanced military equipment, including laser system, radar technology, and spy satellites. This reality now places these obscure elements at the heart of geopolitical tensions, becoming a lifeline for the world's military capabilities. So what does this mean for procurement and global supply chains? How do we tackle this labyrinth of geopolitical interests and resource control? Well, first we need to take a closer look at the issue. For procurement professionals, these minerals might have been an overlooked detail in the past, but today they have catapulted to the forefront of strategic considerations. Their supply chains are tangled webs marked by complexity and exclusivity. The production process is expensive, technically demanding, and environmentally taxing, with these elements often emerging as byproducts of refining other metals. As such, securing a stable access to these critical elements is no small feat. The US is responding to this challenge by investing in a purification plant for rare earth metals in Texas, due to become operational in 2025. The US is also encouraging Western nations with substantial reserves like Australia and Canada to ramp up their production. Yet the task is mammoth. Some experts predict that the US Army could remain exposed to a supply squeeze until at least 2030. Historic stockpiles, once sizable, were liquidated following the fall of the Berlin Wall. Then we have Europe, Japan and South Korea, nations with meager deposits and less diplomatic influence. They are likely to face the hard choice of buying these critical minerals from America at an elevated price, thanks to America's own scramble to restore its stockpiles. This development, while centered on what The Economist calls war elements, paints a bigger picture. It's about power, control, and the integrate interplay of global interests. It serves as a stark reminder to procurement professionals that understanding the layers of the supply chain can be a matter of national security. Many of these war minerals are impossible to replace in the near term, especially for cutting-edge military uses. And when substitution is possible, performance usually suffers. The combination of concentrated production, complex refining, and critical uses means trading happens under the radar. The volumes are simply too small and transacting parties too few for them to be sold on an exchange. Because there are no spot transactions, prices are not reported. Would-be buyers have to rely on estimates, and these vary widely. Vanadium is relatively cheap, around $25 per kilogram. Hafnium might cost you $1,200 for the same amount. And that brings us to an important point I make in my book, Profit from the Source. If we want a resilient supply chain, intimate knowledge of our suppliers is no longer sufficient. To navigate the uncertainties of the modern business landscape, we need to delve deeper. We need to understand the suppliers of our suppliers and even the suppliers of those suppliers. It's an extensive chain of knowledge that can safeguard us against unexpected disruptions and strategic upheavals. If you're in procurement, consider this as a call to action. Pay attention to these critical minerals. Ask challenging questions about where your supplies originate and prepare to navigate a landscape where resource supply is more than business transaction. It's a strategic game of chess. Because in procurement, as in chess, it's the small pieces that often determine the game. Thank you for watching. I'm Christian Schuh, and this is Procurement in the Park.